Warning: this show contains content that some may find disturbing. Audience discretion is advised.
Disturb me, show me the truth I shouldn't see. Disturb me, show me the truth I shouldn't see.
You and your tea. I wish I was a tea fan.
What a nice cup of tea. Nice cup of English.
Is that what you got?
I have Lipton. This has been a while. We've had many iterations of this show in many different locations.
This is true.
We've spanned states, counties now in Florida,
Yes.
and now we're just decided to ease the whole transition. There was a lot of nonsense about why, that we haven't been doing episodes, and lots been going on. Not going to bore you with the details. I just want to tell you now that we are officially back doing Disturb Me, and you will be getting regular episodes from here on out. So, where'd we leave off all these many months ago? Do we have any idea?
Well, when the last time we had a Disturb Me?
Yes.
January.
Who went first?
That I'm not keeping track of. So I don't think that matters. I'm just keeping track of actually our topics
Okay.
and our dates that we did them.
All right. So do you want to start us off or do you want me to start?
I'm happy to start.
Go ahead.
Unless you want to.
Go right ahead.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm curious.
All right. So today I'm going to be talking about the Sodder children. Have you read about them?
The Sodder children from where?
From West Virginia.
No, I don't.
No?
I don't know if I know the Sodder children.
Okay.
Maybe. Well, if I hear the details, maybe.
Well, you go through so many stories.
I don't even know. It's very hard to keep track of everything.
I feel like it just you need to make room in your brain. Right?
It's when I'm researching and I'm in the topics in the state that I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm all consumed. But then the second I move on to the next one, it goes. And I've had people ask me, like, oh, you covered this like 2 weeks ago. You want to come on my show and talk about it? I go, no, because I have to do all the research over again because I don't remember a single detail now. Because since that topic has taken place, I've talked about and researched 15 more topics since then.
Well, especially since you've been going daily. We're talking about haunted mansions.
Right. Yeah. All right. We're not talking about this.
Sorry.
All right. Go ahead. The Sodder children from West Virginia,
All right.
who I'm very excited to hear about.
Okay.
Or maybe going to be horrified to hear about.
So I'm going to do it a little differently. I'm going to give you an overview of kind of the story and then kind of dive into the segments.
Okay.
So it's Christmas Eve, 1945.
Mm-hmm.
In Fayetteville, West Virginia. And it's a very quiet, small town. Everybody knows each other.
Sounds familiar.
You may know that.
Okay, go ahead.
The story. So since it's Christmas Eve, the family's home. They're in for the night. The children are excited. Santa's coming.
Sure. Big night for kids.
Big night for kids. So earlier that evening, this is just a little tidbit of the story. The wife answered a phone call.
Okay.
From a woman she didn't know who asked for someone who didn't live there. And I feel like that's odd for the 40s because...
Yeah, the phones were very different.
Right?
It's like dial, you reach an operator, you'd be like, dial like, what'd they say? It was like L311.
Right.
And like they used to like...
Yeah. So that's odd to just miss dials.
Okay.
She also said she heard laughter and other voices in the background of that phone call as well.
Okay.
Seemed odd. She brushed it off.
Sure.
So they continued their night, hanging out. Some of the kids go to bed. Some of the kids are up. Early in the morning, very early in the morning, before dawn, all this, a fire breaks out. It spreads really fast. The parents wake up. They scramble to get out. Some of the children escape with them. 5 kids were still trapped inside.
How many kids? These were all their kids?
Yeah, so they had 10. Big family. So 5 kids got out plus the 2 parents. 5 kids remained inside. Spread really fast. By dawn, the house was gone.
Ooh.
Totally just reduced to ash. Once everything cooled off, everything was searched. No bodies were found.
Okay.
Not a single remnant of any of the 5 children. Okay. So that's the whole story. So, like I said, the family, it was large. They had 10 kids. The parents, George and Jenny, were hardworking. They were well known in their community. But on that terrible Christmas Eve night, there were 5 children who were Maurice, who was 14, Martha was 12, Louis 9, Jenny 8, and Betty 5. Terrible.
Hmm.
They were the 5 kids who were already asleep.
Okay.
So now a little more about the fire. It started a little after 1 a.m. Jenny, the mom, woke to the smell of smoke. George tried to reach his kids upstairs. He couldn't get to them. The staircase was already engulfed.
So that's one of my biggest fears. It's now that because the last house we were in was a single story house, and now we're in a 2-story. And I say to myself, like, what would happen if a fire broke out down there and blocked the stairs? We couldn't, like, what do we do? Like, yeah, I'm gonna jump out the window, but like, what do we do? Like, what do you do in that instance?
After researching this, it made me think like we should have a fire escape ladder upstairs. Because it's not just us, it's our kid and our dog.
Well, right.
So it's like you should have a ladder up
I'm gonna put a trampoline in the backyard.
to jump onto.
I mean, it's not that high. I mean, it'd probably be all right.
No, and we have that lower roof,
A lower roof to get on, but to get to that, you got to go out the bathroom window, which I ain't squeezing out the bathroom window.
That's true. It is a small bathroom window. Well, if it's your life or the bathroom window.
I'm going through. Listen, believe you me, we're getting out of this house.
Yeah, no, there's
One way or the
no
other.
question. Get some fire blankets too.
Yeah.
Cover yourself.
All right. Anyway,
So like I said, he tried to get them. He had no choice. He had to just run outside.
okay.
So his plan, his quick thinking, he was going to grab a ladder. He knew exactly where this ladder was. It was in the same spot all the time. And he was going to climb through the window upstairs, grab his kids. That ladder was gone. Nowhere to be found. It was found days later, hidden on the property. Would not have been in this place if
So we're thinking
there's
malicious intent here. with
something
this
a little
fire.
crazy. Something's not right. So he tried everything. I mean, it's his kids. He tried climbing the house itself.
Yeah.
He couldn't. The house collapsed. And, that was it. The fire department didn't arrive until morning, and the official conclusion was that the 5 children died in the fire. That's it. Case closed.
Something tells me that's not going to be the outcome of this tale.
So there was also an odd occurrence. Now we're going to backtrack before the fire. A few months prior to it, a stranger came to the home looking for work. I guess that was maybe normal.
Yeah.
On like a farm.
You got a lot of, especially depending in a lot of these old farm towns, if you were nearby a railroad or some sort of whether it was timber, coal, some sort of something that was harvested nearby, you dealt with a lot of transient workers who, and that was a very normal thing for farm hands to just like bounce around.
Yeah.
You guys are raising, it's corn season. You need help picking all the corn or cattle or whatever.
Yeah. No.
Once that season ended, they moved on to
whatever
move south or north to whatever was the next season, and it did work that way.
Okay. That makes sense.
It's a lot of that going on.
So while they were talking, here's the weird part. He pointed to his fuse box. Now, I don't know the circumstances of why this guy saw this guy's fuse box, whatever. But he said something to him that it was going to cause a fire someday. that fuse box right there.
Now, this was before the fire?
A few months before.
A few months before.
Mhm. And then he said that the house would burn and the children would be destroyed.
A stranger?
Yeah, this guy looking for.
And you let the guy off your property?
I mean, you would have been out there with a
At,
shotgun.
at that point, like, I'd be like, who knows you're here? Oh, you didn't tell anybody?
You're gone. So,
Yeah, 'cause
I
that's a
mean,
threat. Like, I take that as a threat.
That's well, in this day and age, yes. I don't know about
Yeah, and that in any day and age, that's very clearly
people
threat.
trusting.
But the man threatens you
Did he though? Because
What are you saying?
The fuse box.
and said, "Oh, your house is going to burn down. All your kids are going to be destroyed."
Well, that part, yeah, I guess, but
Like, what do you mean? All my kids are going to be destroyed? I
it's
know.
such a weird thing to say
Yeah.
destroyed, right? So obviously after the fire happened, that
Yeah.
was a very odd thing for him to think back to, right?
Hey, what do you mean by that, Mac?
So now fast forward back to the event. The fire's out. The fire department says case closed. Children died.
Okay,
But that's not sitting right? So
sure.
it's likely that their bodies would still be somewhat in some way intact, but no remains were found at all. No partials, no bone fragments, not a
Nothing.
single body or body part or anything was ever recovered.
Yeah, now I cover a lot of stories about fires. And do you know how hot a fire has to burn in order to destroy everything?
Well, it's something like I forget what it was, but I read something about one day when I was looking at crematorium stuff. It's like an insane amount to be able to incinerate a body.
Yeah,
Even
it's
then, there's still fragments of bone.
yeah, and a house fire, especially in the 40s, where it's basically wood. You're not
Yeah.
dealing with any like synthetic, very little, if
Yeah.
any, synthetic materials, to where it's just going to burn like a normal fire.
Mhm.
It's not going to burn to the degree where it
Mhm.
would incinerate something, or especially a person, to beyond
To nothing.
to be right,
Right.
to atoms.
It's crazy. So obviously they refuse to accept
Sure.
this, right?
Yep.
Turns out at one point much later, officials did present bone fragments as proof the children had died in the fire. But analysis showed the bones likely did not come from the fire and were from an unrelated source.
So not even the bones of his kids?
No, they didn't match the expected number of victims, and people suspect that the evidence was added. So it didn't come from this fire, and it didn't match.
Didn't come from these kids. Didn't come from anything. It was just. But now, all right, go ahead. Because things like that's like a big cover up now at this point. Like, so if this is what is this guy sitting on top? A gold? Like, who wants him out of this farm or whatever the case may be? That it's like a government level or a local government level conspiracy against a farm,
Right.
a small family in a small town in West Virginia in the
Right.
40s. It doesn't even make sense.
And a family that, like I said earlier, is very involved.
Well,
in the
right. Community, well respected.
Yeah. Crazy. So, another thing that investigators blamed were electrical issues. So remember the worker who came to the door who
Right.
checked the electrical panel.
Yep.
So George had actually had the wiring inspected not long before the fire, and it was declared safe. So he had recently had it checked.
Okay.
It was okayed. The night of the fire, the power was still working. So if the power's working, faulty wiring, I feel like you would notice
Yeah.
something
Yeah, absolutely.
before just a fire
Sure.
erupts, right?
Yep.
So also a neighbor said they witnessed someone throwing something onto the roof that night. And that tracks with something one of the surviving children reported. They said that they heard a loud thump coming from the roof before the fire broke out. Someone found what was described as a hard rubber-like object in the yard, and investigators speculated it could have been a type of pineapple bomb, but nothing was ever conclusively proven. So they're finding evidence
That
of
this was
weird things,
yeah.
right? Also, the phone line had been cut.
Oh wow.
So even if it was burning slowly or they had
You
time
couldn't
to
even
call
you couldn't call
911,
the fire brigade. Did they have 911 then? In the 40s, probably, right? 40s weren't.
it's not that long.
It was that long ago. Yeah, I guess that did exist.
I mean, nowadays this probably feels long ago, but
So it's 100 years ago at this point.
I gotta say that's about 80 years ago now. That's wild. Um. So, and then one other weird thing was, so they had two trucks, and they were starting and working the day before the fire.
Okay.
Neither truck would start to get out of there.
Hmm. Now this was on Christmas Eve. This happened.
Yeah.
It was Santa Claus the suspect.
I don't think
They
Santa
heard
came
the
yet.
thud on the roof.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he started a little accidental fire.
Listen, the guy can't be clean 100% of the time.
No. Okay.
Mistakes have to be made.
That's wild. So actually, the two trucks were looked at, and it was determined they were tampered with.
Okay.
So you have the ladder that was missing.
Right.
The phone line was cut.
Phone line was cut.
You hear a thud on the roof. You find a rubber thing that could have been a bomb, and both trucks aren't starting.
Both trucks aren't starting, and initial reports say that they couldn't find any remains. And then the next story is we did find remains, but none of them now match.
Mhm.
So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of pieces to this puzzle.
A lot of stuff going on. So now we have some reports coming in. A woman claimed she saw the children being pulled away in a car the night of the fire.
Oh,
So now we have
a potential kidnapping.
Right. A motel owner said she saw them days later.
The kids.
The kids. And another witness claims they were seen at a diner.
Huh.
Now remember, these kids are ranging, I believe, from 5 to 14 or to 12.
Yeah, you said they were 5, 8, 9,
To 14.
14,
Yep.
12, 10.
So, I mean, that's a big age range, and it's 5 children. It's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
To just be out and about at
Yeah.
these public places, right?
Yeah.
So different places, different times, but everyone seemed to believe that these children did not die and they were taken.
Right, because, I mean, what else are you going to think, really?
There's no evidence.
I mean,
that
there's
these
no
children
evidence
died in
that
the
they
fire.
did die in the fire.
Yeah. Neighbors also reported before the fire they witnessed a man watching the children as they played. He never interacted with them. He just watched. Imagine noticing someone in this day and age.
First of all, I would never notice anything because I don't leave the house. There could be a parade outside, I wouldn't know. But you know what? My child is next to me in the house. So, yeah, but no, I'm super hyper vigilant when it comes to anything like that. I hate, I mean,
I've never felt safer than when I am with you, ever.
Well, because I'm just a ball of just anxiety and rage, just waiting and watching.
Can we tell the story about my birthday at the bar when I did turn like 26 or something? And you and your brother are just standing there with your arms crossed, like waiting to fight somebody. And
Well, because
we're just down in New Jersey Shore.
yeah,
We were, like, in the
well, this is
office.
also very early in our relationship, and we hadn't really gone out in like New Jersey, really, and where I'm from, and I say like I'm from like somewhere, but it's in Staten Island in New York, Staten Island specifically.
Big attitudes.
Right. Everyone wants to fight everybody. And that's what
you're used to.
What you did. Like you went out and everyone got into a fight. So that's what you were waiting for. Like you weren't going out to enjoy yourself. You were going out and just standing into them. Someone's going to get into a fight. Sometimes it was you. Sometimes it was people you were with. Sometimes it was just someone else in the bar, but it always happened. And me and my brother, we were primed for it. This is why I'm so anxious.
Because you were with me and his now wife was there. She was there. So both of you will watch you as they tossed.
Right.
And then you got so mad because I went up to a group of guys. It was like, my friend is single.
It's like, what are you doing? Get away from these people. Don't talk to people like this. This is asking me trouble. There's one of them's going to get cute. And then you have to lunge. Yeah,
It's
that
one of my
was-
favorite stories.
Yeah, I was like, what do you? Well, I was very confused. I said, what do you mean? People just go to bars just to enjoy themselves?
I had like a few girlfriends come out. My parents were there. Remember, like this was my birthday. I
Yeah.
said, like, let's all go out.
There's a lot of people.
It was a lot of
It
people.
was a good time after I cooled off a little bit.
Yeah,
and
after
relaxed.
you settled in and realized, like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
this
guess-
is actually a nice time.
I won't have to do anything.
You're like, really? You want to go to a bar?
Oh, I
I'm
hate
like,
it.
but it's outside on a deck on the water. It's nice. We're having a good
Ugh.
time.
I mean, someone's gonna drown. That means someone's gonna get their head dunked.
And it went off without a hitch. It was great.
Yeah, listen.
So yeah, so hypervigilance, like I said, I always feel safe when I'm with you. And admittedly, I let my guard down when I'm with you because I feel like we fall into a thing where, especially when we're with our daughter, I know you're watching her, but I know you're also really watching the surroundings too, where I'm focused on her. And I know I can do that I can put 100% of my attention on her because I know you're like in 360 mode.
Yeah, I mean, there's countless times where I've just been like, "Come on,
Right.
let's get off this street." Or
And then you
let's-
tell me later why.
right, just let's walk.
Yeah.
Just, I didn't like to look at somebody. I didn't like the way they were reacting. I didn't like
Or a car is creeping slow.
car is down the street moving. Come on,
Mhm.
let's get in the car.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. And
So-
that was Shrek.
It protects us, so that's fun. Okay, so we just talked about all the witnesses and how we saw, a neighbor saw a man just watching it.
Yeah.
Now there's a photo to be talked about. Years later, something arrived in the mail. No return address. It was a photograph. And it showed a young man who looked like an adult version of Lewis.
And how many years was this later?
It just said years later. It didn't say how many.
And Lewis was the older one?
So let me go back. Lewis was the 9-year-old.
Oh, okay, so it was
He's in the middle. Of
many
those
years
guys.
later then.
And on the back there was a message, Lewis Sodder. I love brother Frankie. So it said Lewis Sodder on it.
Wow.
That's it. No explanation, no follow-up. It was a single photograph with that one little note.
Huh.
And that showed, you could call it evidence that at least one of the kids survived. And
Yeah.
if it looked like this child and, as a young man,
Right.
you don't know. So the theory is George, the father, he believed that it wasn't an accident. This was a planned
Wow.
event after all
That's
this.
my opinion too, and I wasn't even there.
So you want to hear the rumors
I do.
as to why people think
I hope Santa Claus is involved in this.
No, better. So one that made me laugh is, so again, we're in this small town
Sure.
in Fayetteville, West Virginia. Okay.
It's almost heaven.
Almost heaven. So George had outspoken views against Mussolini. And
And this is-
people said that Mussolini set a hit on him.
listen, that Mussolini character.
So apparently George had conflicts within the local Italian community,
Bastard.
whatever, and he's been threatened before.
Hey,
So did
about Mussolini.
George get whacked by the early mob?
he might have. The early mob in West Virginia was tough.
So that's a theory. And you know what? Once you summarize everything again, it's like the phone line, the ladder, the
Yeah.
vehicles, everything.
Yeah.
It actually
They whacked him.
couldn't be too far off.
No, that's not
I-
far fetched. I'll answer in the comments if you can hear our dog snoring.
Oh yeah, he's snoring. You see him down there. He's I don't know if you guys know, but his name is Yoshi, and he's 8 now, right? 8-year-old corgi. He's the cutest little boy, but he's snoring.
He's having some dream.
So that's really, well, that was really the only theory.
That the mob got him?
That the mob got him.
West Virginia mob
Or
in the
not, or
40s?
tried to hit him, but they got half.
Over what, though? Over because he talked about Mussolini?
Yeah, because he had conflicts with the.
Who do you talk about Mussolini to in the 40s
I don't
in
know.
West Virginia?
That's why it's funny.
It's like 4 people in
Right.
town.
That's why it's funny.
What was the population of Fayetteville, North Carolina
I should look
in
out.
the 1940s?
I'll look it up.
Please.
Um,
I'm gonna say 1,100.
I will look.
That's probably
I'm gonna look right now. But
maybe
basically,
11,000.
so George spent the rest of his life searching, following any leads he
Yeah.
could, chasing the sightings. He put up billboards with the question, "Where are my children?" But to no avail. He died without an answer
That's
or
sad.
any closure. So unsolved. The only evidence of, surviving children is that photo of Lewis
That came all those years later.
that came years later.
Wow.
And yeah, so that's my story. That's the Sodder children. Um,
All right.
so I know.
All right. It's
Yeah,
creepy.
all right, so you feel like you got me.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, before you start, what was the population of?
Fayetteville, West Virginia, in say 1940, 45. Split the difference.
Well, it was 45 and half.
There we go. See, 11,000. I'm saying.
You're saying 11,000?
Yeah. For all I know, there could be 11,000 people in Fayetteville currently.
We're gonna split the difference because they know the count in
40.
1940 and
Okay.
1950.
All right.
So we're gonna split it down the middle, and we're gonna call it 1,500.
Whoa. Yeah, I was really reaching for the moon for
Yeah.
11,000.
1,500.
Yeah. So who was George talking to about Mussolini then at that point?
Chris? I don't know.
His closest neighbors had to be acres away.
Probably.
You go to the local malt shop and
You could still buy homes acres away even today. In West Virginia.
yeah, that's true.
Back
It's almost heaven.
Mhm.
All right. Sodder children of West Virginia.
Yeah, I like to. Well, not that I like the story, but
Well, you thought it
the,
was
the
creepy enough, and
unsolved aspect of it, and how what seemed like just a house, an accidental house fire.
Yeah.
Eventually turned into
this whole
wait,
saga.
witnesses. Wait, we saw the children. Wait, we got the photograph. Both cars were tampered with. All of these things. And it's like, oh my God, if you piss off the right person.
Sure. This is why people give talk a lot of smack on the internet, especially in like Facebook groups about like the anonymous names. And people are like, oh, show your face. What are you scared of giving these opinions? What am I scared of? That.
Right.
Scared of that. Because people are so unhinged now over the smallest things. Everyone is so emotionally fragile that if you just share your opinion that someone disagrees with, they'll dox you. They'll find where you work. They'll, just from the information that you post, like find pictures of your kids. So that's why I don't share anything on social media, because there's crackpots out there. And anytime I do have to comment in any of these Facebook groups that we're in, whether it's a local one or for any, places we're visiting, I always anonymous, because you're going to ask a question and it could be the most level-headed, reasonable question. You're going to get people laughing at it. Like, you don't know that? What's wrong with you? You don't know this extremely obscure thing that only someone who's lived here their entire life would know?
Right.
And then if you say like, yeah, well, that's like a really dumb thing, that like your answer to that, I'm going to come and burn your house down. Like, this people will.
The keyboard warriors.
Yeah. And those keyboard warriors have turned into terrorists.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I liked it. It's creepy. So before I get going tonight, I just want to start with just a little dumb little fact.
Okay.
Do you know there's a city in Oregon whose logo, the seal, the thing on the water tower where the hole and the welcome sign, has a Bigfoot hidden in it? Okay. It's a Bigfoot. And it's on purpose too. It's like you squint in there and he's right there.
Like the monster of Bigfoot, or like
no, like the monster. Like he's a shape and he's crouched in the thing.
Okay. I'm gonna look this up as you're talking.
I think it's Molalla, Oregon. Look it up.
Okay.
So, it's a cute little small town thing, right? That's what you're supposed to think when you see something like that. Yeah, it's a cute little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Except that this town sits on the edge of a forest, and that forest has been swallowing people for over 100 years.
Now, when you say swallowing, they go
That
missing?
people are walking into these trees and never returning.
Wow.
So now the question I want to sit with you and I want to sit with everybody else is that, do you put the monster on the welcome sign because it's a cute little thing and like the town's bored? It's like a small town, we're going to put something there. Or because the truth is a lot worse
It's a warning.
and this cartoon is easier to live with? That's the question I have.
My answer is it's a warning.
All right. So,
That's what I'm going with.
okay. So here we go. Southeast of Portland is where the suburbs kind of just dissolve. And strip malls turn into 2-lane roads. 2-lane roads turn into the foothills of the Cascades. That's the Molalla River corridor. And it's canyons and slopes and undergrowth and the whole thing. Very desolate, very kind of rural. And, if you walk onto these trails into these woods and you step off at 10 feet, you might as well be in another country. Like you're gone. So now, laced through all of it, and now this is a part that sticks out to me, is hundreds of miles of logging roads. This was very big logging territory. And a lot of these logging roads are still used. A lot of them are abandoned, but some of them are still used. All of them are invisible unless you know exactly where they are.
Because they're not charted.
No, they're not charted roads.
Right.
There's no thing. But in there's no self-service, no people.
Okay.
It's just gravel ruts going along trees. If you set out to design a better landscape to help someone get away with something terrible, you can't do it. Like
That's it.
This is it. Like
Okay.
this is the perfect place for nefarious things to happen.
Okay.
Okay. So it's August of 1987. There's a bow hunter. He's up on the hillside of the Molalla Rivers below him. He's looking for deer. So he's crouching. He's trying to be quiet. Hears something. Gets low. And when he gets low is when he finds a woman's body.
Mhm.
Partially decomposed, half covered by forest debris. The earth was taking her back at this point. So when the Clackamas County is where this town is, the sheriff came out to work the scene, and they're investigating. They look at the body, they're scouring the area, and they say, "Oh shit, there's another one.
Oh no.
Oh no, there's another one."
Do you know how far from each other?
About within 100 yards.
Oh.
They found six more. So 7 women in total on one small patch of hillside in the Molalla Forest, right off the Molalla River Basin. They called this person the Molalla Forest Killer.
Okay.
So that was what. And for about a month, that's really all Portland knew, is that somebody was out in these woods disposing of bodies. So the victims, now the police start investigating who the victims are. They start scouring for identities, and they weren't random. They were specifically women doing street level sex work.
Okay.
So they were, and there's a road in Portland, McLaughlin Boulevard, and was known for that at the time, and they were all known to work that area. So, that's the ugliest, most honest part of this whole thing, is that there was a predator who targeted people that the system is primed to deprioritize, and he went after them exclusively. So, not because anyone really investigates badly, but because reports don't kind of stack up the way they should for, say, like if a missing college student or a child got taken,
Right.
There would be a community outcry, something like this. Prostitute disappears.
Somebody who's probably not
Cops,
even from the area.
cops tend to not and just everyone
But
in
I'm saying,
general.
like,
It's
forgotten names
right.
too. It's a
And
lot of
this was a blind spot that this guy capitalized on. So, and the scene was very specific enough that it'll make your skin crawl because there was sharp force trauma. Now, what I mean by that is that several of these women had their feet removed after death. So the person who was doing this was very comfortable with tools, and he was also very comfortable with taking his time because he was alone. So, and they said that scattered around the body, they found debris, was hacksaw blades. They also found mini bottles of vodka and orange juice containers. So he was having himself a little party while he was doing this. He was mixing up screwdrivers.
enjoying himself.
He was having a good time. So he was mixing himself a drink at the dump site. Now, whether that was before, during, or after, you fill in those details,
Right.
whatever, So that's gross.
What was he afraid? The bodies would walk away with no feet?
I don't know what was the trophies.
Trophies.
People like this that's a very sick man. So, as most of these cases, which thankfully mistakes are usually made, these people can't stay perfect forever. And he made a mistake during the day. On August 7th in 1987, now this is just before the hunter finds the body. A woman named Jennifer Lisa Smith is stabbed 11 times inside of a truck in a parking lot off of McLaughlin Boulevard. In public and right down the street from a Denny's in the middle of the day.
Was she a street worker too?
Witnesses saw enough to step in and give the police a pretty good description of the perpetrator. And it was enough to almost find him immediately. And the man, his name was Dayton Leroy Rogers. He was 33. He was married. He was a dad. He lived out of Canby, and he ran a small engine repair business up in Woodbury, nearby, Woodburn. So he was a guy who fixes your lawnmower, a guy you'd bring, talk to him about the weather for a minute.
It's always the people like that, right?
That was genuinely his life.
Oh my God.
He's fixing a chainsaw in the afternoon. Like, oh, yeah, drop it off. I'll have it back to you tomorrow. And then that night he was going and dismembering people in the woods. And the next morning he was, going home to his kids,
He's a dad.
sitting down. So now when detectives closed in on this guy, they searched his shop. And inside the shop, they found a wood-burning stove that he used to get rid of things. They searched in the ashes, and they found hardware from Jennifer Smith's missing shoe, plus parts of 2 other pairs of shoes that weren't hers. So forensics then matched blade marks on the hacksaws that were hung in his shop to cut marks that were on the victims, and they matched. So, that's a family man, small business owner. He's using a hillside above a river as a burial ground for years, and cleaning up this behavior. So the feet he would put in the stove. I don't know why he was taking them just to burn their feet, but that's what he was doing with their shoes on, and that's what they found. But it's the same stove that he was using to burn up scrap metal, that he would during the work week, and throw it in this stove.
Where did his wife think he was?
I don't know. So there was what I want to call a legal odyssey that took place during this time, and it's very much Oregon at the time. because he was sentenced to death in 1989. And weeks later, the Supreme Court rules that the death penalty instructions Oregon had copied, which they copied directly from Texas. They pretty much cut and pasted.
Okay.
And they didn't let juries properly weigh things like childhood trauma. They didn't get a chance to introduce those kind of things into the court rulings. So the sentence was vacated. They went on trial again. He was sentenced again in 1994. But that was tangled in a badly written ballot. So he was vacated again.
Shut up.
Yeah. In 2000.
Please tell me this.
So wait, so hold on, wait, no. So it was vacated again then in 94 when he was sentenced in 94. It was vacated in 2000. So from 94 to 2000, he was in jail. Then it was vacated again.
So was he on death row during that time?
I think so, yeah. Over a sentencing option that the jury was never told about. That came up. So they had to vacate it. He was sentenced, had a third trial, was sentenced to death in 2015, vacated again in 2021 because of the same kind of instructional problem from the jury.
What the hell?
So now we're going on 4 decades now that this guy's been on death row.
What?
This is recently.
7 discoveries?
Yep. By the time the governor commuted every death sentence in Oregon in 2022, Rogers had been sentenced to death 4 separate times across 33 years, and he was never executed.
Has that ever happened? Has anybody has gone to trial that many times?
I don't think so.
Gotten the death penalty every
time. And it was then, but get the death penalty,
and then escape
but
it.
then you're never, right, it's never happened. He's currently, right now, serving a life sentence in Oregon State Penitentiary. So the system grounds so slowly, it basically arrived at its own conclusion, pretty much out of exhaustion. It's like, we sentenced him to death, but we didn't say when. Like, oh, he'll die 40 years later on his own eventually.
So this guy he's got to be in his early 70s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, easily.
Because he was 33 in 1987, so he was born in 1954.
Yeah, so 1954, so he's yeah. So now, I want to talk about one of these people. One of the 7 that was found was a teenager, Tonia Jaree Johnson. She was 18. Her remains sat unidentified for 26 years. Until 2013, when DNA gave her a name back, essentially, and they figured out who she was. So all that time. So even after the killer was caught, sentenced, vacated, sentenced, the story wasn't even finished because all of the victims weren't even identified yet. Didn't even know their names.
Was she the only one of the 7 who wasn't identified?
Yes.
And was it only 7?
7 is what they found in that area and what he was on trial for. Yes.
Okay.
But Clackamas County is not done.
Okay.
We're not done with Clackamas County yet. 15 years later, now this is not deep in the woods this time. This is in a suburban apartment complex in daytime among neighbors who all knew each other. Newell Creek Village in Oregon City. So it's right down the road. It's an ordinary place. There's bus stops. There's kids, and the kids are all very friendly with each other. They all play. 12-year-old Ashley Pond and 13-year-old Miranda Gaddis live there. They're both classmates. They're on the same dance team, and they're at each other's apartments constantly. On January 9th, 2002, Ashley walks toward the bus stop, and she never makes it to go to school.
No.
2 months later, on March 8th, Miranda vanishes the exact same way on the way to the bus from the same apartment complex.
No.
Now, there's a detail in this that in hindsight, they always say hindsight's 2020, and like we say, like you always try to be hyper vigilant about things and notice things. But months earlier, back in August, Ashley had told authorities about a neighbor, a man named Ward Weaver III, whose daughter was close friends with both girls.
Okay.
And they said that he had tried to assault her at his home. It was reported, and nothing ever came of it. There was no charges, and nothing ever happened to him. He just stayed right down there, a few doors down from the girl who accused him. And that was it, you know. But 2 months after Miranda vanished, Weavers did something that investigators, again, hindsight, can't even fathom, because he gave a television interview to a local news reporter who was there doing a story about this. And he did it standing in his backyard, just on a slab of concrete that he had just poured for his new hot tub. He's talking to the camera about how worried he is for these missing girls. He was standing on top of them.
That was my immediate thought when you said that.
So both girls eventually were confirmed to be buried right there. Ashley happened to be in a barrel underneath the concrete that he was standing on. And Miranda was in the shed in a microwave box. The thing that finally cracked the whole case wasn't even about the girls. It was a separate investigation into an assault involving his son's girlfriend. And that brought the FBI onto the property with a warrant
Oh my God.
in August of 2002. And that's how it broke. There was no suspicion or anything catching up to him about these girls. It was totally something completely unrelated.
No, it's something you said, an assault with the son.
Something with the son and his girlfriend.
So the
An
son
assault
was
involving his
involved.
son's girlfriend.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
So that brought the FBI involved. And so it was just a completely unrelated crime brought them to that apartment.
Wow.
So now, right now he's currently serving life without parole. And his son is also serving life without parole for whatever reason.
I wonder what
And his father is also convicted of murder. So here's the eerie thing now, back to that forest.
Okay.
Every so often, the forest kind of gives something back to you. So in September of 2020, wildfires tear through the Molalla corridor and they strip away decades of underbrush. A few months later, in January of 2021, a timber crew is replanting on the slope, trying to, doing that whole process. And it's a very steep slope. It's a slope that's so steep that you need rope.
Okay.
So they're dangling from rope, and as they're planting these new trees, they find a piece of a human skull.
Oh no.
So, and then alongside the remains is a white sneaker, a metal ring set with a red stone, a Harley Davidson pin, and a swastika lapel pin. So from the objects and DNA, the sheriff identified a man named Kenneth Lee Bell, who was a 22-year-old timber worker who was reported missing in 1979, traveling from California to Washington. So he was missing for 42 years. So whoever put him in that ravine assumed that this forest keeps things, so it's going to keep it forever. And it literally took a fire burning away
Everything.
hundreds of acres of woods to uncover and expose them. And it's not all violence. The forest takes people the old-fashioned way too.
Mm-hmm.
In 2023, a 78-year-old hunter named Don Parkins, he was a local man, he drives out annually to look for shed antlers south of an area called Table Rock. So his truck was found at the trailhead, and he never was. 8 days, dog teams, volunteers, nothing.
And this is somebody who went regular.
Just, yeah. He's still in the missing file. Like, never recovered. You know, in 2019, a 2-year-old wandered off a trail he was with his family. They were hiking on the trails. 2-year-old wandered off. But 2 hours later, he was found on a steep slope by a woman on horseback who was just riding on horses through the trail. Happened to find the 2-year-old just had a random happenstance that she happened to be there. In 2012, 2 teenage boys got lost near Table Rock, close to where the old man went missing. And they spent 2 nights freezing and out in the woods, lost. And they actually walked out just fine. So, listen, same forest.
Wow.
Throughout
Different
a lot of different outcomes, right? So, I mean, the outcome depends entirely on who's walking through it and the reason they're there. But so again, now let's go back to the logo. Because hidden in that tree line of a city seal, there's an actual Sasquatch. And there is an actual Sasquatch research center that's not far from this town in a place that's literally called Boring. It's Boring, Oregon.
Stop.
That's the town. And you really can't improve on that, I don't think. I don't think the Bigfoot is really like a coincidence. I don't think it's a cynical marketing. It's a community just doing, what people always do. They take something that's genuinely dangerous, genuinely incomprehensible, and they give it a shape, and you can slap it on a coffee mug and put it on a t-shirt. Because again, like I said earlier, monsters that you can laugh at are a lot easier to deal with than the ones you can't. So, that hillside has held a lot of bodies in that town. That town itself has a lot of darkness among it, and there's a lot of talk about, is Clackamas County cursed? Every region in this country has its bad people, and there's plenty of missing hikers and all of that. It's that the land there, though, that did so much of the work. The same kind of steep ravines and crevices and things like that that make such good hiking trails is what lets a body sit undiscovered for, 40 years. It's the same kind of like isolation that it draws people in. They want to be in the quiet. They want to sit and relax. It's like, oh, this is a nice, peaceful area. But then you get lost. Or it's the same kind of feeling that a small engine mechanic will get when he's looking for a place to dispose of bodies. It's like, I know of a really quiet, secluded place. The forest doesn't choose sides, just exists, and it holds whatever it's given. So
I can tell you one thing. You'll never find me there.
No, I don't think we have to worry about you wandering off into the forest. It's not nature-y.
No. You ever see that meme where it's like, I'm outdoorsy and then I like to drink on patios?
On patios, yeah.
That's me.
That's you.
I'm not outdoorsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
So
a culmination of terrible things. Well, my vote is your story tonight. And you can vote for yourself too.
I'm voting for myself.
I would, encourage that. And I know, you know what? I feel like you're going to win this one, and I'm okay with that because I've been crushing you in our past episodes.
Yeah. But that's going to change now.
I throw you a ball.
It's going to change. Well, folks, it's good to be back. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think of these stories. Let us know what you think of this new kind of format of us just kind of like lounging on the couch and just relaxing while we tell each other these stories.
Honestly, I like it better.
I think it's cool. Yeah, it's more uncomfortable. It's more just like kind of casual and hanging out and stuff. I don't like that I have my laptop in front of me, but I needed my notes.
Oh, please! I need my notes.
Eventually, eventually, I'm gonna go off memory.
I'll try, but you don't want to.
Um,
You don't want to listen to me that way.
yeah,
Maybe I'll put some fun stickers or something.
stickers. Stickers are nice. All right, folks. Until next time.
Bye.
I point that.
Bye.
Yoshi, don't move.